Welcome to Tea with the Priestess. I'm super excited that you're here. My name is Christy, and today we're diving in to intentions and what makes intentions really vital in ritual work, spell work, in our daily manifestation. I feel that this is really important to talk about because for me personally, I see people daily, sending in their intentions to me to create ritual, create spell work for them, to help them with their manifestation situation, to help them with their daily routine. I have a beautiful tribe of women who I really support in allowing those wealth codes to develop. And so intention is something that I have got really great at over the course of my time of growing my own abundance and stepping into the frequency of full alignment. And today I'd love to dive into why maybe your intentions are the block to your manifestation, why they are the block to your abundance. And I would love to go deep with you around that today. So welcome, grab yourself a cup of tea. We are going to be drinking the tea while it's hot, me included. I am having chai. I had a spearmint tea earlier. I wonder what you're having today. So sit down. This is a conversation between friends here. I would love to hear your opinions about intentions. And if you have anything else you want me to dive into, then I am all here for that as well. So today we are really kicking it all off with intentions. So before we even get started, why are intentions important? Well, you've got to be really clear about what you want in order to receive. And the way that I see that is that we can be really broad with our intentions, or we could be really detailed. And it's important to find that happy medium. An intention is something that you set, that maybe you speak, that you write, that you place energy into, that supports your desires and your wishes. An intention is something that we do every single day. So if you get out of bed in the morning, you have an intent to start your day. You have an intent to get up and move your body. You have an intent to actually just be and not stay within the bed. It's as easy as that. So when we're talking about intentions, they don't need to be so humongous. In fact, I'm actually really against having huge amount of intentions, and I'll go into why that is. But when we have an intent to do something, or we have an intent to receive something, we have a really clear reason behind that. And that's all an intention is. And they're really important when you want to manifest or in spell work and in your daily practice because they guide you. They guide an outcome. Could you imagine going to work for the day and having no clue what your intention is? Do you intend to stay there for a week? Do you intend to do your 8 hours and come home? Do you intend to get particular jobs done? Now, I run a hugely beautiful, successful business that I absolutely adore. And I have very clear intentions of what my day looks like. I have intentions of what my family life looks like. I have intentions of what I'm bringing in and manifesting. We all have intentions. But it's interesting to meet people that have really clear intentions in their day. And then it's interesting to meet people that are not so clear on their intent. And you see a direct result in their day-to-day life. You see a direct result in their production. If you own a business or you own a company or you run a company or you're a manager, you can see very clearly whose intentions are very strong and clear. Because if you have staff, then you will know the outcome is very clearly linked to their intent. If they intend to rock up and get as least amount of work they can get done in a day because they're getting paid regardless of the outcome, you can see that in their autonomy, you can see that in their motivation. And yet, when you see somebody that's, I've got a plan for my life, I actually want to do really well in this job and I want to get my work done and I want to make a difference to those around me that I'm supporting. You can see huge momentum. So the same thing is very clear for spell work. The same thing is very clear for manifestation. You need very, very clear intentions. Now, I always say to my clients, I do not want you to give me a list of 20 intentions that are so detailed that it's going to take me a lifetime just to read them, never alone craft something around them, right? We also need to be really mindful that sometimes there's a bigger plan or a better plan for us than we could even imagine, right? And so when we're setting intentions, leave it a little bit open, but not too much. We want to leave it open so that Goddess can come in and create her magic. Universe, life force, whatever you want to call it, God, creator, can come in and the magic can be woven through. And the reason we want that is because sometimes what we intend for our life, there's something better planned. There's something so amazing planned that we could not have even imagined it. And that happens time and time again. I'm the perfect example of that. And the reason that is because I've done a really great job of leaving my intentions open. Not so open that I'm saying, I want to create a successful business, or I want to have a happy life, or I want to be really healthy. We need to be a little bit more specific than that. But we're not giving it clear instructions to the universe on exactly how that is going to happen. The how is what we need to leave open for the universe to really construct for us. The feeling we want to receive has to be clear. Has to be absolutely so clear. So maybe you've had that experience. Maybe you've had that experience where you have said, hey, I want this in my world. And you've got it, but it's not exactly what you thought it would be. I put honey in this one, it's really good. And it's not exactly the outcome you expected, but it's better. Or maybe you've had the experience where you've said, that's it, I'm done. I don't want to work here anymore. I hate it. It is absolutely ruining my life. I want to no longer have to work here. I want something better. And next thing you know, the company closes down, or you've lost your job and you don't have something else to go to. You want something better? Great. Did you want to transition into that first? You didn't really explain what it was you wanted. Something better could be taken as free time, days at the beach. Something better wasn't necessarily I want another job. And so we need to be really clear. Now, I always say to my clients, give me 1 or 2 or 3, no more than 3 intentions. If you are creating spell work, you do not want to be, or any ritual work or any manifestation work, because I know we're not all casters here, and that's okay. When we're creating something to bring in abundance into our world or bring in our manifestations, whatever that is, we don't want to be putting in 20 intentions. Because if you think of it as energy, we are dividing that energy framework, that portal, that frequency that we're dealing with in between all of those things. So instead of one clear outcome, you now have 20 outcomes that you want to cover in that time. You have all these things that you want, and you may want them all, and that's fantastic. Then break them up. And I'm going to explain that a little bit more to you, because I think that's vital. Get good with the thing that's going to change your world the most. Don't list it out as 20 different things. That is one sure way that your manifestations will not work. You might get one of those things. Now, I'm not saying that you can't want 20 things. I remember writing down, this is a little bit of a funny story. I wrote down in this sparkly pink journal. It was really difficult to write in this journal, and I remember writing down my beautiful letter to self as though it's happened and showing so much gratitude for the life that I've created and putting down all the things throughout the letter with absolute feeling, devotion, and gratitude for what I had achieved in my world. And then by the time I'd finished that letter, I'm like, this journal is so annoying. I cannot write in it. This doesn't have a flow about it. It's beautiful, it's sparkly, it's pink, my favorite color. However, it was really hard to, like, when you hold the page open to write in it, you will know exactly what I mean, right? And so I folded it up and I put it away, and I didn't think anything of it. Over the period of time, I was really focusing in on the big key aspects of my life. And once one thing would manifest and I would receive, I'd move on to the next and then to the next. And within 6 months, without even knowing, I had manifested almost, not quite, almost every single thing on that list. I had forgotten about it. I'm going through my bookshelf and I'm doing my decluttering as I do. And I'm like, oh, pink sparkly journal. I remember doing something in this. Completely had forgotten. And I'm going through this letter that I've written in my journal and I'm just crying because it was so heartfelt when I wrote it, which emotion's a big thing, that I was like, I can't believe I did this. I can't believe 6 months ago I wanted to retire my husband and I did it. I can't believe 6 months ago I wanted to be able to serve this many clients and now I'm triple that already. Like, I had such an epiphany of, I just closed that and put that away and focused in on each individual. Now, if I would have completely just 20 things every single day, focusing in on those 20 things, I am disrupting, distorting, and distributing my energy across 20 things. We are powerful beings. We are such powerful beings. And when we place our intent and our focus on that one pillar, we achieve it. We achieve it. And then we move to the next. And so when I say to my clients, please don't give me 20 intentions, that is exactly why. It's exactly why. I personally will do so many different things with my intentions that I can't pinpoint exactly what it is. I think it's a combination of all of them that creates the momentum. I journal as if it's happened. I wake up in the morning and give gratitude for as if it's happened. And I'm clear with what that intention is. I use a lot of ritual work and I'm directing that energy in. I'm placing all of my energy and that intention and I'm speaking it, I'm chanting it. I'm creating momentum around that. And this is what I do for myself personally and what I do for my clients. But I'm also always saying, make sure you are putting the good energy into it. I keep my frequency really high. I visualize. I mean, do you remember the time where we were all just like, we need to create vision boards? Now, I am not anti-vision boards. If you've worked with me for a long time, you know I'm not anti-vision boards, okay? Because when we did wealth codes together, if you were part of that, we worked through the fact that, vision boards are great. But putting a picture up on the wall isn't enough. It's not a clear intention. It's not a clear intention. And one thing I've learned from channeling spirit every single day is that spirit doesn't understand timing all that well. So we've got a 2026 vision board up. By the end of the year, it means nothing to spirit. In my experience, your experience might be different, and that's okay. I'm here to share my experience. I'm going to put a vision board up of 20 things that I want. And that's beautiful. But I'm going to pick one or two of those things to really focus in on, not 20. Because why? Like we said before, we are distributing the energy. We want change. We want momentum. We have to put the energy where it goes. It's like if you are working in an office and you're trying to do 20 tasks at once. Are any of them ever done perfectly? Let's focus on one thing, get it done, move to the next. You have greater momentum, you have greater closure, you have greater abundance if you're working with particular deals that you've got to close and shape, because you're actually getting things finished. Nothing's ever left open. You see a task through. You see a task through, and that is key. I think that's the biggest mistake I see people make, is feeling that manifestation is a vision board and visualization. But yet you weave energy into it, you create ritual around it, you speak as if it is. That is huge. You need to weave in your frequency. Having a low frequency, not having your energy protected, welcoming in all the negativity, gossiping at the water station, talking nasty about a friend, refusing to assist somebody in need, low frequency, manifestation's not going to happen. You need high frequency. You need high frequency to activate the quantum, because that field is like, whoo, Christy feels high energy. We need high energy frequency opportunities. Christy's in low frequency. She doesn't want anything coming in. There's such a difference between I don't want debt in my life to I welcome in financial freedom. Now, I don't even love the term financial freedom. I want a specific. Now, I don't need a dollar amount, although that is helpful. You want something that can gain traction and momentum. Sitting there manifesting $15 million and not even buying a lotto ticket, we're not even going to get into that one, right? But, and I don't condone gambling or buying lotto tickets, just so you know, because I don't think that's how it happens. I feel that setting a daily goal or a weekly goal or a weekly target and then building upon that is exactly how financial freedom happens. And you've got to get clear in financial freedom. Well, financial freedom, what is that? How much does that look like? What does your life look like? How does that feel? There is such a different frequencies around I don't want debt. You can already tell that that's incorrect way to actually visualize and bring in, because what's the universe hearing? The debt. And it's also wiping something, not creating. We want to come always from a place of the sacral. We want to create. We want to bring momentum up so that it can reach that high frequency, right? But I welcome financial freedom. I embody financial freedom. It feels just so, so different. And so when you have that feeling of it being different, you activate the quantum. You activate the frequency of bringing more in. I welcome it in. I'm in love with that. I feel that. I embody that. Quantum says she's ready. He's ready to bring that in. And that's how things start to unfold. A vision board doesn't do that. creating energy and bringing in the elements and putting in clear intentions and feeling that creates momentum. And what you want to do is create evidence that it can happen. Because evidence that abundance is real activates your belief that it will happen, which opens up your receiving. And maybe that's a whole different podcast. Being in gratitude is key number one, and you've heard that time and time again. Highest frequency is authenticity and gratitude, right? Sitting authentically in gratitude, perfect. You can 100% change your intentions. Things change. Energy changes. Your spirit team is always waiting to support you. Just because the opportunity comes up doesn't mean you need to say yes. If the opportunity is for you, then don't be shy to jump into it. It's a big yes, right? I remember this one client that I had, amazing woman. And she was very clear with her intentions, but she had a lot of them. And she didn't quite have 20, but she definitely had at least 7 or 8. And I remember saying to her, you know, all these amazing things that you want to bring into your world, they all pin on this one thing first. If we put all our energy and our intent and build our routine around that one area, imagine what could then spill out from that. Maybe you wouldn't even need these other ones anymore, or maybe those other ones would just automatically come. And again, that momentum of actual, oh my goodness, this works, I can make this happen, makes those other jobs really easy. Now, we didn't go for the biggest, grandest intention. We went for the one that made the most sense based upon everything else. And then we went into, okay, so here is our intention. What's the step we need to get to it? Breaking it down further. So we just got rid of all 7, picked one, and then went through it and said, okay, what would feel best? What do we move into best here? And for her, it was abundance and money. She had lost her job. She had lost her home. She had lost everything. She was living back with her mum, and they did not have a good relationship. And so we were like, okay, so yes, you need a new house. You need a new relationship, you know, because she'd lost that as well. You need a new job. You need all of this. What is the first step? Besides self-care, which was also on the table, health had gone out the window as well. Well, the first most important thing was the new job. Getting back in. And you know what? It was this, oh, well, I've been applying for all these entry jobs. This woman, amazing. Like degrees, like she should have been on 500, maybe 300,000 a year, right? She was that great. She was applying for jobs at entry-level places, you know, that our 15-year-olds, our 16-year-olds are applying for. And I'm like, whoa, what's that telling the universe? Let's stop. Your intent is, I want to move. I want to get out of here. I want to get my house back. I want a new relationship. I want my health. I want my vitality back. And I'm applying for jobs in areas that aren't going to serve that purpose. So let's stop. And we focused in on the job. We focused in on bringing in the right career opportunity. And what happens? She gets that, and everything else follows. And she is a beautiful client of mine still. She's now in my inner circle, and she's working on her own spiritual gifts. She's phenomenal, and she's doing remarkable things, and she will continue to do so. She just needed that shift in the frequency. She needed that shift in that mindset and the intention, because it all came down to the intent. The physical intent was, I'm going to apply for a job at Subway, which is fine, but I'm actually able to work as a top barrister? Can you see the difference here? And so if I leave you with one final thought today, one final thing, hopefully you got to drink your tea, because I really haven't, have I? I'd say to you, focus on one thing, find the steps for that one thing, break it down even smaller, and get clear with your intentions. Because saying to the universe, to Goddess, please bring me $1 million, isn't really, it's leaving it open, which is brilliant. It's way too open. There's no steps. It's not really aligned with exactly where you're at. So start with something smaller, start with something different. How are you going to get to that? What does your week look like? What does your day look like? What does your year look like? How can you build that momentum? How can you build that energy? And it starts with intent. It starts with very clear intent. This week, your focus is on setting clear intentions. If you are doing ritual work with me this week, send me 1, maximum 3, and make sure they're in the same context, same area. I'm sending you all so much love. Keep your frequency high, protect your energy, keep that strong, and have lots of cups of tea and magical, magical moments. So much love to you all.